Today we're going to give you an introduction to F5 GSLB. The global server load balancing. GSLB can route users to the closest server available to them based on the metrics you establish, improving the website response times and reliability and available. This lab will configure F5 DNS servers to support GSLB services on a single device in the site A and the site B. And we're going to join the F5 DNS server in the site B to the GSLB site A, site B. So internal group of DNS server is authoritative for zone like a clab.com, and it contains a static A records for the the www.clab.com, and which resolves to the CNAME www.wip.clab.com. It has two dedication, NS1, NS2. They are A records. Each will be resolved to the listener configured on the GSLB here. This one, here. At the end of the lab, I will show you how. First, assign the specific sync group name will be created and the synchronization will be enabled. In my DNS, I would go to the DNS and settings, go to GSLB, general. Here we're going to check synchronization, and we'll give it a name and say F5 demo group update. In the next, a listener object is a specialized virtual server that is configured to respond the DNS queries, and we'll be creating both the TCP and UDP based listeners. So there's two. So still back to the DNS, we'll configure some profiles. First, configuring the logging. We'll configure DNS query and response logging. So let's first create a logging profile, and we're going to navigate to the DNS delivery, or go to profiles and profile others. DNS login. We'll create a login profile. It's F5, set F5 demo, DNS logging profile. DNS publisher will figure out that's the local syslog publisher. Log response will check, and we'll check include query ID. Finish. The next profile we'll define is called DNS profile, which controls the way listener can process the query. So let's go to DNS, delivery, and profiles, profile DNS create. Here we are create. The create name, we're going to define F5 demo.com, say DNS profile. Here it says we have to find unhandled query action. Here default is allow. What I say job. Next, we'll use bind server on DNS big IP, say disabled. Go to logging. Let's figure out the logging. It's going to be enabled. The login profile we have created previously. And AVR status sample rate, we will be checking this. Say 1/1 query sampled. Finish this. Then next figure out is the UDP profile. I said we're going to create UDP and the TCP. First, Now we're going to navigate to the profiles, DNS profile, then next protocol UDP. Let's create one. The name will say F5 demo UDP DNS profile. Make sure you're using is DNS GTM DNS. Okay, finish that. Next, of course, what I have to create is TCP. A TCP profile is associated with a listener as well. And we're going to create, we want to name it as F5 demo TCP DNS profile. The parent profile we want to use is the TCP WAN optimized. Scroll down to the bottom, very bottom here, finish. Now we have a TCP profile as well. We now need to define a UDP IP address. A UDP listener will receive and process the DNS queries. So let's go to DNS delivery, go to the listener, and there's a listener list. Let's create. So in the diagram here, we have two listeners. They both will be TCP, UDP, TCP, and UDP. So there will be total 4 listeners, TCP, UDP, okay? First, we want to create is the UDP. Let's put in a name, specify that UDP, and the IP for my site A is gonna be 202 to 110.101. Here, we have to make an advanced. DNS is 53 port. Next, I will navigate to protocol. Protocol UDP. Under service here, we want to use UDP, but we want to see some profiles. Use the profile we defined. And DNS profile will be using the F5 demo. All right. Finish. Let's repeat one more time. Next UDP profile is my site B UDP profile. I'll change the name. Keep using the same thing. Finish. And next step is to create a TCP listeners. The site A. It's my site A. Keep scrolling down here. We want to use TCP. Protocol here, we know we have a TCP. We use the same DNS profile. Let's repeat this. Same profiles. Finish. I'm sorry, I'm gonna use the site B name. Finish. Now take a look at where down. We have a TCP UDP profiles for the listeners, site A, site B. We don't know what is site A, site B, they're data centers, so let's go to the data center list. We'll need to create, it's just simple to name for data center. It's the site A data center, and repeat as create the site B data center. Finish. So 2 data center created. The next step is to create a server. The server objects need to be defined and grouped into the data center. This step will go to the DNS GSLB and go to server list. First is site A servers. The all GTM DNS devices need to be defined and create a server object in this DNS site A. So create a server list. We want to call it like DNS dot site A, right? Um, this protocol, of course, the be big IP, and data center we need to pick the right one as site A, and we're going to add a device. The device here we know the DNS is .100 LTM.50, so we have to add them like that. So DNS site A f clab.com. That's my DNS. And the health monitor is this a big IP. Okay, we want to finish. Okay, let's create a site B DNS dot site B server. Data center site B data center. We added the device. That's DNS site B clab.com. Use big IP for health monitor. Finish. After a while, you will see they become green online, enabled, available. Now we have to add the site A LTM, site B LTM. LTM devices need to be defined, and we'll create a server in the server list. Now we want to create is the site A LTM. Device is the site A. That's say LTM A site A clab.com. In the health monitor, we know it's gonna be big IP, and we want to use the virtual server discovery. We want to discover the virtual server in it, and link discovery also. Finish. I'll create another one. It would be my site B LTM, site B underscore LTM. Data center is site B. We'll add this server. LTM site B clab.com. We want to discover the virtual server. Link discovery as well. Finish. So adding the site B LTM, we can keep it fresh a little bit till we both have a two virtual server here. Next thing is to unmesh the F5 servers need to be exchanged the key to establish the trusted mechanism for the HA communication. I have previously a video about how to create a trust between your DNS and LTM. You can reference that video. In GTM, you're going to add your LTM and just add a key, master key after that. You will use your iQuery to synchronize. Well, we talked about all of that. Now, if I write down that, we're going to go to the pool list. We're going to create a pool. The pool we'll have to create is called www.clab.com underscore pool. The type will be a record. If you synchronize it, you will see the virtual servers. So the first we'll add a site A. and ratios 1, and well, I just click to finish, then I'll just add it back again. Here you go. Let's go ahead. See, okay, they're both discovered. Because in my LTM, in here, I'll create 2 virtual servers, like this part has been finished. This part, 2 virtual servers in my LTM. So now we talk about FQDNs. The F5 refers to an FQDN as a white IP. So basically it's called WIP is referenced to the F5s. So what I should do is go to the YIP list. We have to define this CNAME. So CNAME is www.wip.f5. Sorry, the clab.com. And the record is the A record. Because we define the pool, we can just pick the pool we want to be resolved to my virtual server. And we want to make it, instead of basic, we want to use the advanced. I want to enable pool selection, pool transversal, pool member transversal. Finish. Now here comes the fun parts in my DNS server. So I'm talking about DNS server you will be using to test. Here the DNS server. I will create 2 A records. They go to the listeners, right? They're the listener. And a CNAME resolved for www resolved to www.yip.clab.com WIP, okay? And we'll create a dedication for this WIP to name server ns1.clab. And now it gets resolved to a listener IP. Let's see if it gets alternative IP also. Yeah, so it finally gets the different IP inside B, so it's rotating, as you can see. What I can show you is YIP statics on the DNS side A. So we want to go to the YIP list, statics, and we'll navigate to the YIP here, and the statics, and see the static YIP. We're going to see the total request and resolved request. So the balancing is showing preferred, right? Prefers to have 2. Next thing, let's modify the GSLB configuration so the DNS server continually receive the same DNS answer. So what I mean is we can make a persistence, and we can hit it based a persistence. Well, we're going to make sure the answer always the same IP. So to do that, we'll go to the YIP because it's related to the FQDN answers. We want to make sure you're going to select the www.yip.clab.com and go to the pools. Pools here, we have say persistent enabled. Give an update. Now jump to my test PC. Answer the side A listener IP. Once again, side A listener IP, side A listener IP, or repeat a few times, you will know. It will resolve to the same IP every time. So after you try a little bit, you can tmsh show the GTM persist. Here's the record and the value coming from my DNS server, and this is how it resolved to. Let's talk about the load balance methods. We want to change the GSLB configuration. So the site B is showing as a DR site. It can be introduced a network problem and cause the app here monitor to fail. So a network outage can automatically cause the DR to be activated. So to enable this DR methods, we can go to also the pools. On the pool here, we're on see the members. In the prefers, here we're showing a round robin, and we want to change to global availability and give an update. Now let's go to my LTM. We want to temporarily disable site A virtual server, right? And we want to refresh my web browser again. First, let's make sure we have resolved to the site B. So now site A is showing VS virtual server down, and we'll see if we can get its the GTM can also see this down, and we're gonna quickly find this DNS answer difference IP, which is the site B listener. Let's refresh a little bit and getting to the site B app servers. Yeah, it's hitting this one. Now we can recover failover back to site A. To do that, we will re-enable this virtual server, right? And give it a little time. I think the member site A LTM would be coming up for this virtual server. Now the LTM comes back. We'll refresh it. See, it's getting failover back to the primary site. To do that, I would tell you it doesn't switch over to the primary. What I have to do is to disable that, the persistent records. Let's disable the persistent. Let's see if it gets fail back. Yes. Now it fails back. Refresh my page. It changed to my app1 servers. And you can see it gets resolved to the listener on site A.
Hey everyone, NetMaven here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to dive into the world of amazing network technologies with me, and please feel free to leave your comments below. Hey everyone, NetMaven here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to dive into the world of amazing network technologies with me, and please feel free to leave your comments below.